What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. How we doing today, Casino?
I am very excited. Tonight is hockey. I just can't wait. I just absolutely can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be, dare I say, a hoot. Dare I say a hoot?
It's going to be a
But
hoot hoot.
it's going to be, have you ever heard the words hullabaloo?
Yeah, it's a
My wife
hullabaloo. What is that from?
I don't know, but I know the word hullabaloo, and my wife yesterday was arguing with me that hullabaloo is not a word. And also she said she not only said it's not a word, she said it's not a word I use often. And I said, we have been together for 7 years. There's no way this is the first time you're ever hearing me say the word hullabaloo. I say it more than a lot of regular words. Hullabaloo. It's fun to say. But
Hullabaloo. I'm going to
hullabaloo.
figure this out.
But yeah, so today we are here to talk about previewing the NHL season that starts tonight. We're also going to be talking about Mark Sanchez and that insane story. I was reading up on it this morning. I read like 5 different articles about it. I'm still not sure I understand what happened and how it got to the point that it did. So we'll talk about that. Save it. We'll talk about that.
Got it.
And then we are also going to be talking about college football. We'll kind of talk about what happened last week, what's going to happen this week. But first, Casino, we must start. We had one game different going into Monday Night Football, obviously because there was only one game, and you picked the Jacksonville Jaguars as your upset pick of the week. I picked the
Woo!
Kansas City Chiefs. This was a 2-point swing potentially in your direction, and me doubling your win total if the Jacksonville
If I
Jaguars
got it
lost
wrong,
and
yeah.
Chiefs won. But so what also happened that I did not realize yesterday, we both got a point for picking the best game of the week, which was Seahawks Bucks. We
By
also
far.
did both pick that. I mean, it makes our numbers bigger, but it doesn't change the week. I ended up winning with 10 correct choices this week. Casino ended up losing with 8 wins this week. So our totals going into week 6, I am at 49. Casino is at 48. Don't call it
That's
a
all good.
comeback. Been here
I'm
for
fine
years.
with that.
We got the blowouts wrong. We both hit on our best games, our upset picks, and then the worst game neither of us hit on. But yeah,
I mean, it
still
was
a
a
good
successful
week.
weekend for me. Chiefs lose, Patriots win. Outstanding.
And Bills lose too.
But
Technically, I
here's the
mean, I
thing: I
know
have
that
nothing against the Bills.
yeah, but they're still in your division.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
yeah.
It's nice to beat them. It's nice to beat them. And I just realized as you saw me like leave or here for a second, as we started the podcast, I didn't realize because I just go numb to the sounds that I have the dishwasher and the dryer running at the same time. And then as soon as we start, I was like, oh wait a sec. So obviously I can't stop the dishwasher. I don't know if you can hear that, but I had to get up to stop the dryer because they became very loud as soon as we started doing this podcast. I was like, oh yeah,
Well,
that's happening.
my son does not. My 4-year-old does not go to school on what is it, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So he's literally right to the right of me playing on his tablet. So if
Mhm.
you hear any random beeps or boops, it's
Yeah. My
because
daughter's homesick, so she's currently laying in my bed and watching TV all snuggled up. And my other son is, or my other son, my other kid, my son, he is currently napping. So we've got a sweet spot here. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna
Um,
try to do a short show today, and let's just dive right into it, Casino. Let's talk about Monday Night Football, a game both you and I watched because we were texting about it while it was happening. It was glorious. The Jacksonville Jaguars win at home, 31-28. Thoughts on this game, Casino, and thoughts on how glorious that pick six that Patrick Mahomes threw really was.
oh, it was phenomenal. Honestly, that was just a bad throw. I don't know what he was trying to do. There was two. I mean, even if the guy that got it, I'm blanking on his name here. I
Lloyd,
have.
Devin
Thank you,
Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd. If Devin Lloyd didn't get that, it would have been picked by the other guy. It
Yeah.
100% would have been picked by the other guy. It was just a bad throw. I loved every second of it. And it was fitting because they they got screwed over on the interception that went through.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
That again, how that is not called pass interference.
no.
That is one of the most insane things I've
Yeah.
ever seen in
I
my
think
life.
that's one of
It's
the
never
most
been more
insane clear.
blatant.
I think that was one of the most clear pass interference outside of the one with when it happened to the Saints. You remember
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
year?
Where the guy hit him like
Just like
literally 3
blew
full minutes before the ball got to him.
blew him out.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, well, it was within the 5 yards." Is with yeah, okay. You can touch them within 5 yards, like you can Jossie with them in front first 5 yards.
You
You
can
can't
hand
full
fight.
yeah, you
Hand
can hand
fight
fight. You
within 5
can't
yards.
literally pick and blow through them. Like
Well, also, if you could do that within 5 yards and that's perfectly legal, why is every team not just saying, "Hey, cornerback, just tackle him at his leg so he can't run past 5
yeah.
yards." Like, why
Another one that I read up on was where they people were saying, "Oh, well, he should have had his head up and he just ran into him." No, it was a designed pick play by by the Chiefs to be able to knock the receiver down, and it was a wide open interception.
So let's watch this play just for those watching. If you didn't see it, what we're talking about. This was again an interception not called for pass interference at all. Watch the bottom of the screen if you're watching. If you're listening, we'll describe it after the fact. Oh, I
So
got to
5
turn.
yards would be at let's see here,
They're
at
at
the 21
the
yard.
yeah, so that looks like they're at the 18, so
Yeah.
about right here before the first down marker.
Or it
So
would have been at the 19. Yeah.
it's again, it's right there at 5 yards, but you just can't do this where the guy, if you're going to look right where I'm circling right here, the guy right here just blows the guy up and just again, also, if you're this guy, if you're number, I believe it's 11, who gets knocked down when the play gets right here, if you're number 11, the guy just runs straight into you, even if he's looking right at him. What is he supposed to do in that situation? The guy just runs directly into him.
Yeah.
I thought, again, even if you're not saying this is pass interference, isn't this an illegal pick play? The guy looks like the Chiefs defender looks like he's going right for the wide receiver.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like the design play of it looks like, oh, hey, I'm gonna pick this guy so then you can pick Trevor Lawrence. Like, and then after this play, which they don't show in this clip, after that play, they just showed like Trevor Lawrence and all the Jaguars coaches and players just being like looking around like, what? Like, this is, and again, the one I sent you, which is from NFL memes, they said for 31 other teams, this is pass interference. At the very least, for 31 other teams, it's a pick play. Like 100,000%, no doubt.
Yeah,
Like it's
that was a bad no call. I
if
don't get
the
it.
dude, if the Chiefs would have won that game and this would have been, because I mean, again, that was the start of the fourth quarter. So
Yeah.
if that was like the turning point in the game where the Jags at
And they
that
got
point
points off
were,
that, man.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Jags were ahead by a touchdown at that point. If after that the Chiefs go down, score a touchdown, and then like rattle off 10 more points, and everybody's like, "This pick was the turning point," I feel like it would be a huge discussion today. But because that play happened and then the Jags
It's
still
just gonna get
won,
forgotten into the ether.
yeah. But that was so bad. That's so. And
I
again,
mean,
and when
go for it.
when every other team, again, I've heard the things where it's like, oh, well, Eagles get all the calls. Oh, well, this good team gets all the calls. This good team gets all the calls. The Chiefs are unbeaten and will forever be unbeaten in I can't believe they got that call at that crucial moment. Like I don't care what fan of a team you are, what teams you hate. The Chiefs are on a completely other level with those kind of calls. Like the game changing, oh, it's ticky tacky, could go one way or the other. They are 100% in getting the one way or it could go
Yeah, I
either way
mean,
or the other.
however, the last night they were penalized a lot. They were penalized 13. Jags were only penalized 4, 13 for 109 yards. I mean, most of that was off of like special teams errors. Who I'm about to sneeze. Sorry.
Bless you.
But yeah, it's just ridiculous because they were getting all those penalties called on them, but yet there's a fate like right there. It's like, okay, well, we can't call any more on him. We can't call this a PI. We just can't.
Yeah.
They've already have this many penalties. We just can't do it. I'm so happy the Jags came back and won this game.
Well, then also people are going to be like, really? We're still complaining about calls, even though the Chiefs lost. It's just like, yeah, because again, it's when it's blatant and obvious, like what you just want us to be like, well, they still lost. So it doesn't even matter. Like this
Yeah.
stuff matters, as we talked about in the Broncos Eagles game. Bad calls are bad calls regardless. And it's going to affect other games when you see
Yeah.
bad calls. But really, the story of this
I
game was obviously, or go ahead.
I was just gonna say, once we start talking about college ball, I'll bring it up a little bit more. But the calling in college is just ridiculous. Like what is targeting, what is not targeting. We'll get into that.
Well,
But
also the conspiracy part of my body just goes, huh, we're now really focused on sports betting. And I mean, last night I was just doing the dishes after Monday Night Football, watching Sports Center that came right after it. Sports Center is now with SVP. He has a 30-minute segment where he just talks about like bad bets of the week and then just shows full game highlights for them just being like, oh, this team was favored by 13 and a half. Watch how they give up 14 points. It's like, it's
they
insane.
have shows for that. They have specific shows for
That's what
that.
I'm saying.
Get that off of Scott Van Pelt. Like,
Well, what I'm saying is it's insane how we went from every sports league in the world tries to ignore sports betting to now every single thing is about sports
because
betting
they get
and
money
on.
now.
Well, that's what I'm
It's all about
saying.
money, man. They just got it in
It's
their pockets now.
But the conspiracy part of me goes, oh, it's weird that the calls have never been worse and sports betting has never been more prevalent. Like, there's no way it's just
No,
coincidental that
it's not.
those
Then
two
they
things
catch
are.
people on it. They've caught people doing it for years,
Yeah.
and people are just going to probably get a little bit smarter nowadays.
But yeah, the amount of money that sports betting brings in, we're just going to see bad calls like this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, so I
But
know I said, oh, once we get into college, we'll talk about it. But did you watch that Oregon game a few weeks back, 2 weeks ago? The one that went to OT, and
yes, yes.
he got completely smoked in the helmet, and that was not a targeting call.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what is it? They replayed that, it felt like 15 times, and
Yeah,
the announcers were going crazy. Everybody online was like, "How is this not targeting?" That was the clip the next day being like, "How is this not targeting?" And
yeah,
also, how is it not targeting? The answer is because the refs didn't want it to be targeting.
yeah.
That's literally the only
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, and then I was just listening to UNLV on their last game, right? Being UNLV fan, and I had to look it up because apparently the the back judge, she tried to call targeting after the play was dead. No flag, no nothing. They were getting ready to set the next play, and then they got into a huddle, and they had to figure out if this was targeting or not. And it was an interception, I think, as well. And so this would have reversed everything, and there was no penalty flag. And I had to look that up. The thought they didn't call it targeting, thank goodness, but it was like a 10-minute discussion. As I was driving in, I know that was 10 minutes because I was timing it on if it was targeting or not. And I when I looked it up, the dude got him right in the chest. It was perfect. There was no foul play. It was just a nice football hit. Wasn't even that hard. And they were questioning if that was targeting. And yet, the one in Oregon, they were like, "Oh no, that's not targeting. No, no way."
Yeah,
No,
it's
the dude's face and neck went like this. It was helmet. They basically kissed through their damn face masks. Ugh. Yeah,
it's
but I
well,
totally agree with you. I don't think it is a conspiracy theory. It's 100% truthful. Um, and how we know that is because you go with this has already been around sports betting, refs getting caught, players getting caught. People get caught doing this, and now that it's way more accessible and their odds are people are trying to betting companies are like, oh well, if you do this, we'll give you an extra this or that. Like, so
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
even spicing up the deals even better.
It's
Why wouldn't you?
well, exactly. And then
Why wouldn't you? I could be like, oh, if I was one of the refs, um, 5 people removed or whatever, like a far acquaintance, just be like, somehow via word of mouth, like that can be easily done. And okay, here's some money. I'm going to give it to this guy for this reason. But really, then they transferred here, then they transferred here. Like you can make it real easy to where they can get their bets in. They can get their bets in.
Yeah, and we see it in especially in every big standalone game too. It makes it more obvious because Monday Night Football is obviously the only football game going on, so everybody watches it. But outside of again refs, I hate being just the show that complains about the refs, but when it's so obvious, like you got to talk about it. To just try to sweep it under the rug when it happens every week would be impossible. But what we did see, however, was a fantastic Trevor Lawrence play where he slips, falls down, loses the ball, picks it up, and then runs in for the
So he
what
did
would be
not.
the
I'm tired of people saying he slipped. He did not slip. He
he's
had he had the
stepped on
lineman
somebody.
step hit the lineman stepped on his foot. Is it his job to get his feet away from the lineman? Yes. So I mean that's on him. That's a quarterback's job is the lineman can't see. The quarterback has to be quick enough or stand far away enough to not get his feet stepped on. But
So
that's what happened.
when your feet get stepped on and you fall, what's that called?
Falling
Tripping,
over.
tripping, falling over. So he fell over, he tripped on another man's foot. We've
He
all
got
been
knocked
there.
over.
And then he picked himself up. And again, the thing going around on this play is that Chris Jones
Just
just
gave up.
is literally almost from the start of the play, just standing there and watching it all happen. I'm telling you, what is it? I feel like you can judge a lot of teams based on like body language. The Chiefs' body language all year, from Kelsey throwing his little baby tantrums
Tantrums.
every single game to Chris Jones just like being overly aggressive and like emotional, especially on like the sidelines during the Eagles game this year. There was a lot of clips of him coming out like screaming and just being like, I'm so tired of this. And people were like, he's talking about the tush push. He's talking about losing to the Eagles. He's talking about the Chiefs defense or off. I don't know. He's talking about something, but again, there's so many clips this year of just the star players on the Chiefs body language and being like so overly emotional about weird stuff. I think that has a lot more to do with them being 2-3 because I feel like you can sense when that team is on the sidelines, they know this year they just don't have it, right? Like they just don't have the I don't know, the Chiefs magic of the last couple years, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it, because as of right now, they are 2-3. And again, it's not like their
And
schedule
I
gets
the
easier.
Lions next week.
That's what I'm saying. They have the Lions next week, prime time, where the Lions now, since the Eagles lost, the Lions are now, well, since the Eagles and Packers have not looked good the past 2 weeks, the Lions are the new, is this the best team in the NFC? Even though their one win or their one loss is against the only good team they played this season.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, a lot of
uh,
people have them number 1 in their power rankings, which I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
I can't
I'm
go there yet.
no, yeah, no. I still have the Eagles for me as the number 1 because they lost to a good team. They lost to the Broncos, who are a good team.
Well, and
So,
their 4 wins have been against good teams.
yeah,
So it's
so, like
like, yeah, the power
yes,
rankings, yeah, I don't think you can put
but
the Lions above the Eagles yet.
yeah,
But now last thing on this game, the Jaguars, I will fully throw up my hands and
by
just
the way,
say
I was really surprised you didn't start off today with just putting the Duval clip.
Oh, I forgot to put the Duval clip.
Yeah,
We
I
need to
figured you'd
do it
have that
once.
hot and ready. I figured
I
you'd have that hot
mean,
and ready.
hot
But yeah, how they're 4-1, I
Duval.
don't understand.
Duval.
I'll just throw my hands up and say I don't there's certain teams in the NFL I do not understand. The Jaguars are one of them. I don't understand how they're 4-1. I don't understand how the 49ers are 4-1. I don't understand how what's the other one we always talk about? The oh, let's see. No. Texans, Vikings, no. Oh, the Commanders, I don't know how they are winning their games in blowouts and are 3-2. There's just teams again, those 3 you can just chalk up to I do not
Huh?
understand them. I watch the games and I'm just like, I don't think these teams are good. And then they win and you're just like, I don't even think they played that good. Cuz again, you look at Jacksonville and the Chiefs game last night, like Trevor Lawrence was good in that game. Travis Hunter had that great double coverage catch. Outside of that, Brian Thomas Jr. had a really good catch, but outside of the run at the end, like it's like I didn't think the Jaguars were great. It's like I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't
No, and Trevor
understand.
Lawrence almost did what Trevor Lawrence does and blow it at the end.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs again, Mahomes throws the pick six. Thank God he went for the tackle and didn't get it, because if he would have had a touchdown saving tackle in this game and what happened in that Giants game, the talk of him being like, not only is he the best quarterback, he's their leading rusher and
Well, I
their
mean, that goes back
tackler.
to that one where he
Ugh.
did on the sideline where he blew through the guy. Well, guess what? The guy just gave up because he doesn't want to get called. So I'm going to tie all that into a nice little bow here. So talking about the Chris Jones thing, giving up on the play, a lot of people were trying to be like, oh, well, he could have, he could have thought the play was dead, which fine. But you know what? And then everybody's like, well, you play to the whistle. I've been a defender in this league before. You got to play to the whistle, play to the whistle. And you play to the echo of the whistle is what they keep saying. And I was like, that's a load of horseshit. Why? Because the amount of personal fouls and roughing fouls after the play, like as a defender, there's a fine line now. Like, why would you even get close to touching anybody, when the play is dead or when you think it's dead? Because, playing through the whistle now, a lot of people don't do that anymore because they're going to get called for something.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Well, and it's like, how many times have we said this week about talking about games or whatever, where it's like defenders or AJ Brown in the Eagles Broncos game, or the guy in Arizona, where it's like these guys get paid millions of dollars. Can you just wait till the play is like officially over and you're walking back to the huddle? Like, all these guys just are quitting while the play is actively going, and now they're being highlighted after the game, where it's like, why'd you stop running here? Why'd you
yeah, for
stop?
offensive players, it's a different thing. But for defensive players, I feel like they're nervous to get any sort of repercussion for, like, if the whistle blew and then a half a second later, they finish their hit or whatever. We've seen
Yeah.
it. People get in trouble for that. So I don't know. But also on that play where Mahomes missed, he looked like a complete just dead fish. He just like fell over, which I thought was funny. But it seemed like a lot of those defenders just didn't give their best effort outside of the guy who tried to chase him down and tried to punch it out at the end.
Yeah.
I give him all the credit because he was like almost a full 10 yards behind him when he got knocked out of bounds and he was able to come back up and almost catch him. So good on him for at least trying. But a lot of those other players that were missing their tackles, they just kind of like looked like they fell on the ground, which was funny to me.
Yeah. I don't. It's so weird.
But I feel good that the Chiefs are losing. It makes me happy. I really think they're going to go 2-4 after the Lions, and from there, the best they could do would be a 13-4 season, and I don't see that happening. So yeah, it's the road is going through Buffalo this year.
Well, let's predict right now, Casino, because you're on a hot streak with the Chiefs. Last bit
I'm
about
on
this, then we'll
a
move
great
on to
hot
the
streak.
NHL. We will just say win-loss and we'll tally it up in our heads.
Yep,
They're
I
two
knew where
and
you're
three,
going with this. Let me pull this up here.
two
I
and
want
three
to
right
see it.
now. Lions, both you and I think they lose to this Lions team, right? So
Yes.
that's 2-4. They beat the Raiders, that's 3-4. Commanders, Chiefs, win or
As of right
loss.
now, I would probably go Commanders.
So they would be 3-5. Bills, we
What would
obviously
you
both.
pick?
I think I would pick the Chiefs, or I think I would pick the Commanders as well.
Okay,
They're just
go.
playing better. Chiefs, Bills.
Bills.
So they're
That's in
three and
Buffalo.
six. Yes. Chiefs, Broncos.
Broncos. It's at Denver.
Yeah, we'll give them one Broncos game. So right there, they're 3-7. Colts,
Colts.
so 3-8. Cowboys, I'll give it to Chiefs.
I'll give it to the Chiefs. That'll be a shootout, but I'll give it
So
to the Chiefs.
4-7. Texans, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
So we'll go 5-7. Chargers, Chiefs.
I think Chargers will take them down.
So 5-8. Titans.
Win.
So 6-9 or 6-8. I'm sorry. Broncos, Chiefs.
All right, let's just split it so they'll win one.
So, and then last one against the Raiders. We think they'll win against the Raiders.
So they're a 10-win team.
No, that's not 10 wins.
Oh, 9-win team.
Yeah, they're 8. No, because they're 2-3 right now. We think their wins would be Raiders. So 3, 1 game against the Broncos, 4, Cowboys,
Dallas.
5, Texans. We don't think they'll win.
No.
And then we think they'll win against the last 2 games. So we think they're a 7-win team.
Yeah, 7-8-win team.
Wow.
It's 8, yeah. I mean, that's realistic. That's very realistic looking at their schedule. And then honestly, with Dallas, with Dak's playing great, and that's in Dallas. We'll see how that goes.
Well, and then also Texans could beat them if they keep rolling.
Because they just lost to the Jags. They don't look great.
No.
But the Bills will not get embarrassed at home that many times this year. When I say embarrassed, they just losing to the Patriots just won't happen. So they're not going to let the Chiefs come in there and do that as well.
Well, see, also the craziest thing about this whole Chiefs thing is Patrick Mahomes is actually playing pretty good. He's got 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So it's even
and
when
he's scrambling a lot. He had 60 yards running yesterday. So, but I still stick by that young offensive line, still struggling a bit. However, the young left tackle really struggling a little bit, but Mahomes is still doing Mahomes things because he's an amazing, amazing quarterback doing what he does. But this team still there's one take that Colin has done in a long time that I did not agree with. So Colin Cowherd, he was talking about it on today. He goes, I still think the Chiefs are the better team, regardless of the score last night. The Chiefs, they moved the ball. Mahomes looked good, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, okay, but they still lost. They found a way to lose. They found a way to lose that game, right?
Yeah.
So you got to take that. And also, that's not going to just throw away everything they've done, at the beginning of the season as well. Yes, they had 2 good games. They started 0-2, and then they won 2, and everybody's like, they're back. Well, guess what? They just lost to the Jags. They just lost to the Jags.
Again, they lost to a 4-1 Jags team where nobody thinks the Jags are good.
Yeah.
Except,
they may have played an okay game last night, and their young players may have played pretty well, and they're doing this without Rice, who's coming back here shortly. But I still just don't. You can't say that this team is still good, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're good, but again, people with the recency bias of like, well, look what they've been the past couple of years are still going to use.
And so that's the big test. And when it comes to Detroit, so
Yeah.
everybody's saying Detroit, there's a lot of people saying Detroit's the number 1 in the league right now team. So guess what? We'll find out this next if the Chiefs just slipped up against the Jags or if Detroit, if Detroit's good or whatnot. But I think it's going to be more telling for the Chiefs if they're back or not back going up against this next game. But even if the Chiefs are back, they've shown that they're vulnerable, right?
Yes.
So even if they're back, they're vulnerable. They're not what they have been in the years where they're just dominant. So those games that we talked about that they could lose, right? Detroit, Washington, Bills, Colts. We expect those teams to win. Why? Because we've seen them win games they shouldn't, and they're still doing that. And we see the Chiefs losing games that they should win. So that's why I'm going to go that route with that. I'm still on that train. Yeah, the Chiefs are not going to make. They just look off. They just look off. They don't look like they're connected. And as the season goes on, dude, if they start 2-4 and then they go 2-4 and then they win one, they go then they go 3-4 and then they lose and they start off 3-6. After Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's your season, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, looking at the AFC right now, you can like the teams above them are obviously the Bills, the Steelers, the Colts, and the Chargers, all of which, if it continued, would win their divisions, right? So then there would be 3 AFC playoff spots left. It would be, we think, your team based on how
I
they're playing in
with
schedule.
how they're playing in the schedule, it's all schedule. Yep.
We think it would be the Jaguars, obviously, because it's going to be 2 teams out of the AFC South with the records right now. It's either going to be Colts or Jags, or either going to win the division. The other one's going to go to the wild card. We think another team's going to come out of the AFC West if it's either the Chargers or Broncos. And then
Yeah. So AFC
the
South, AFC
biggest,
West each have 2. And then you have Pitt winning theirs. Nobody else is going to do well in that division. And then, yeah, it comes down to New England and the Chiefs pretty much. It's
well,
going to, because
no, if the Chiefs got in right now, it would come down to whoever wins that Texans Chiefs game. That looks like it's going to be either 3 teams out of the AFC South or 3 teams out of the AFC West. If they're both fighting for the last spot, it really does come down to that Texans Chiefs game in a couple weeks.
so what so
So,
you really think the Patriots are in at this point with their
yeah,
schedule? Me
with their
too.
schedule and the way they're playing, and plus, like, there's
They're
not
starting to click. I like it.
Well, there's not going to be another team to come out of the AFC North. So there's only going to be one team from them. The AFC East, it's not going to be the Dolphins or Jets. I think it's going to be 2 in there. The AFC South at this moment could potentially get 3 teams in if the Texans really have turned it
But
around.
I don't think they have.
So, well, that's what we're saying. It's either going to be 3 teams from the AFC South or AFC West, because the other
Yeah,
divisions,
you're right. So you're right. No, you're right.
it really comes that Chiefs Texans game. If the Texans win that game, that pretty much knocks the Chiefs out of the playoffs. So
As long
as of it looks right
as
now,
the Houston can, win 9 games.
well, yeah, that's what. Well, I'm saying if the Texans truly have turned themselves around the past 2 weeks, where their offenses actually look like legit NFL offense, like there's no other teams in the AFC that are a threat, right? Like to the Chiefs right now in third, there would be nobody. We don't think the Dolphins are good. Ravens, I mean, I guess if they get Lamar Jackson and just win out, they could potentially steal a playoff spot. But again, that would also hurt the Chiefs. So Chiefs right now are competing with Broncos, Chargers, who both have a game. I think the Broncos have a game ahead of them. The Chargers are a game and a half. And then, yeah, the Jacksonville just beat them. So even if Jacksonville falls behind Houston, they would still have the win advantage. It just
Yeah.
becomes, I mean,
if
this is again,
if the season ended right now, it would be Colts, Buffalo in order. Colts, Buffalo, Pitt, Chargers, Jacksonville, Denver, New England. Cut it off.
which actually, this can be the last thing for the NFL, and then we'll move on. We were like, oh, let's do 10 minutes on this. And then we did 34 minutes. But
Well, we're adding to it.
the last, the thing I wanted to show you, this was posted by NFL, their Facebook page today. If the playoffs started right now, this is what it would look like. So Colts and Eagles would be the number 1 seed in the AFC and NFC. And then the wild card round, your Patriots would be playing the Buffalo as the 7th seed. Buffalo would be 2. Broncos would be playing the Steelers, the 6th and the 3rd seed. Jacksonville would be playing the 5th and the 4th seed right now. You look at it right now, that looks like a very possible in the AFC of what we were just talking about. Like that,
I honestly think that's what's going to happen here.
yeah, like there's your 6 teams plus the 7th. I mean, I would bet good money on
Well,
the
yeah, so it wouldn't
Broncos.
even come down to Houston and Kansas City, because that's what I was confused about when we were rolling through that.
Because I was doing 8.
Yeah, you were doing 8.
I was arguing for like that last spot where they always have.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen because New England's going to get in, and we believe in the Chargers and the Broncos more than we do the Chiefs. And then Jacksonville, I mean, they would have to have a massive slide, which they could have, but they're sitting at 4-1, right? I mean,
yeah, no, that's true. So yeah, so really, it comes down to
because the Colts are going to win that division, right? So,
well, I mean, they're tied right now with the Jags, so it really
so that's
depends.
what I was saying originally. It's going to come down to basically if the Chiefs want in, they're going to have to beat the Patriots with that easy schedule, right? And I just don't see it because there's more games for the Chiefs that I'm nervous for them than the Pats. I mean, I and this is not me being a homer and we're talking about the Patriots right now. This is just legitimate thoughts. I mean, the Patriots, Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons. You got the Bucks, that should be tough. Then you have the Jets, Bengals, Giants, Bills. They just beat Ravens, who are god awful right now and giving up. And I'm sure they're going to be given up by the end of the season. Jets, Dolphins. Like that's an easy schedule, man. That is so easy.
Well, and then we just looked at the AFC playoff picture. Literally, the last 4 teams, it's going to come down between potentially AFC South, your Patriots, and then whoever falls in the AFC West, either the Broncos or the Chargers.
Yeah.
All of those teams right now are playing better football than the Chiefs.
Yeah, because
have better records.
Originally, in my knockoff on who Patriots losing to, right? I had them losing. I had them beating the Raiders, but that was one that I was like, they could possibly lose, and they lost. And then I had them losing to the Steelers, so I was right there. And then I was wrong, though. They beat the Bills. So they're on par with where I expected them to have an 11-win season, right? But I expected them also to lose to the Bucks, and I do expect them to lose to the Bucks. I had them losing to the Bengals. I don't see that happening.
Not anymore.
Having them lose to the Ravens. I don't think
see
so.
that happening.
I don't see that happening. Like these are all, and then I had them, I think, splitting with the Dolphins, but that's a shit show, and they've already won one. So, this team could easily be an 11, 12, hell, even a 13-win team. And I know that's saying something considering they already have 2 losses, but I really only see 2 for sure losses from here on out. The Bills, I'm going to count that as another loss, right? And then the Bucks. Those are the 2 for sure games that I am going to be, no matter how good the Patriots are playing, I will say, the other team's got them. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And what is it? And speaking of the Bengals, apparently today, and not apparently because it actually happened, Joe Burrow has been, I'm sorry, not Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco has been traded.
By the way, Flacco is the Browns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been traded from the Browns to the Bengals.
To the Bengals, yes.
What of all the available backup quarterbacks, what a weird choice. Because again, you still had Jameis Winston out there, you still had Russell Wilson, you still had Kirk Cousins, who I would take 1,000% right now over Joe Flacco.
Yeah, and that's nothing on Flacco. Flacco's just
he's also been bad this season.
Yeah, but it's because he's past not even his prime, he's past his second prime. Right?
Yeah.
Like he's
done. He's already had the miracle season. It's like it's done. Retired.
Yeah, he's not a Super Bowl
champion.
I mean, he's already past his prime, prime rib era, and now he's even past his flank steak. Like, what are we even gonna get now? Are we just gonna get like kibbles and bits from him? Like, Jesus Christ. He's those little steak pieces inside the dog food. I don't know. I was going down a weird tangent there.
Yeah. But again, I don't know. Is he better than Jake Browning? Because when we've seen,
I could say
he just got benched with the Cleveland for a rookie. And again, yes, the weapons are much better on the Cincinnati Bengals. Their offensive line isn't. So he's also just going to get annihilated behind that offensive line before he can get the ball to the weapons.
That's why they have stretchers on call.
That again, just a weird choice, especially when again, other options you would take Jameis Winston, you would take Russell Wilson, you would take you would take Kirk Cousins over Joe Flacco right now, just based on what we've seen this season. All right.
I really hope that this dishwasher is not picked up on this. I don't know.
No, you can't hear nothing.
Awesome.
Can't hear anything.
All right. Cool.
Now
cool.
We did 40 minutes on all the NFL. Let's move over to the NHL casino for our NHL preview. It starts tonight. The floor is yours. Who do you think surprises? Who do you think goes to the cup? MVPs, everything right now. Floor is yours.
See, yeah. And this is going to sound like I'm a homer, but really not. So there's a handful of teams that I legitimately think can win the cup, and it's pretty much the same as the past few years, right? So the Dallas Stars, you have the Vegas Golden Knights, You have the Oilers, the Panthers. I'm going to keep them in there just because they have made it so many times now, right? I'm going to go with the Hurricanes and then possibly Lightning and Jets. Those are the realistic ones that I could see winning. Also, probably let's throw the Avalanche in there as well. So right now with the power rankings, I would have either Dallas or the Golden Knights as the number one. And that's not me, again, trying not being a homer. With Dallas, I've told you the past few seasons, their issue was Pete DeBoer. That was their coach. He could only go so far. He got the Knights too far in the playoffs, and then they lost. He's done it with Dallas multiple times and lost. He's done it with the Sharks before that, lost. So they finally got him out of there. They got Glenn Galutsensen. I can never say his name right. Hey, welcome to hockey and fun names. So they got him in there, and that's going to be good for them. They needed a coaching change because they have the players. They have the players, and they were able to get the end of last year with the trade deadline from the Hurricanes. They got Mikko Rantanen, who had a insane. I don't know if you remember me talking about that, but in the playoffs, he was the guy for Dallas. He was absolutely on fire. He was crushing it. Hands down, he would have been the MVP if the Stars went to the finals. Even if they didn't win, he would have won. He had an outstanding postseason. So Dallas is up there as one, possibly two. Right now, I'll put them at one. Let's just put them at one. But then let's talk about the Vegas Golden Knights, who I would have as a close two. And that is mainly because they got Mitch Marner. They got Mitch Marner over from the Toronto Blue Jays, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And by golly, gee, is he excited to be out of that town, because he was doing everything. And that was, everyone's like, oh yeah, we got Mitch Marner. We could possibly win a cup. Yay. We're going to get this streak broken. And that's always been the funny thing, is about how the Leafs just can't get past first round, second round. They finally got past the first round a couple years back and then lost. So this is going to be huge. The only thing that we'll have to worry about moving forward is Alex. When I say we, the Knights, Alex Pietrangelo, the defenseman for Vegas. He's the leader on that defense. He is going to be out for the season, sadly. However, I don't think this really hurts them, because they are so deep on defense that they really just needed a goal scorer. They were fine during the regular season as a goal scorer, as a goal scoring team, but now they are able to get Mitch Marner, and he's going to be that difference maker in the playoffs, because last season they were able to get Tomas Hertl from the Sharks and got him over, and that helped their power play. They went from one of the worst power plays 2 years ago to one of the best power plays last year. And now you add Mitch Marner, and going into, they will have the best line in hockey when you throw Jack Eichel, Mitch Marner, and then most likely Ivan Barbashev. That will be the best line in hockey. Hands down, nobody could touch it. And backed up with Shea Theodore and whoever they throw with him in the back. So this team is stacked. They're deep, and the signing of Mitch Marner should help them in the playoffs, not only with their power play scoring, but also with just scoring in general. And everybody gave Aiden Hill such a hard time. Well, who's the goaltender for Vegas, gave him such a hard time for not playing well in the playoffs. Well, you know what? If you're not getting the puck in the offensive zone and he's just having to play hero mode every single night, that's not him. The last two games the Knights played to end their season in the playoffs last year, they got shut out. So that was a scoring issue. So I do have Vegas at 2, and a lot of people have them at 1. Obviously, you have the Edmonton Oilers. This is going to be their last shot, because Connor McDavid, he would have to take a nice friendly deal after this year. So this is going to be it. So Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, we'll see what happens there. This has got to be their year. They've made it to the finals 2 years in a row and they've lost, but they're still strong. They're amazing. You can't go against Connor McDavid. I call him Connor McJesus. A lot of people do. That's one of his nicknames throughout the league. It is that he's just so good, and he's the best player in hockey for multiple years, and it's not even close. Florida Panthers, I have them. I'm going to put them at 5. I'm just going off the list that this post has. They have him at 4. However, Barkov and Tkachuk are hurt. Tkachuk is out till December, and Barkov is out for 9 months, so he will miss the season. Those are two of their best players, and I mean, they do have depth, but the players that will be filling in for them, they're not them. They're not Barkov. They're not Tkachuk. So that's going to be a big coaching standpoint, which their coach is great, and we'll have to see if he can actually get them over that hump and get the new depth in and basically try to have them be those two superstars. So I don't think that if the Florida will make it to the final. So I know I talked about 3 West teams, and then that was my first East team. But the team that I do expect, I had them last year. I do expect the Carolina Panthers to make the finals this year, especially with the Maple Leafs losing Mitch Marner. I know they gave up Rantanen and to Dallas, but I expect them still to get to the finals, which would be a fun thing where the Hurricanes, Dallas in the finals, and they got that up. But they also did get Nikolaj Ehlers, a young defensive player. Not young. They also got a young defense. That's what I meant to say. So this is going to be good for the Carolina Panthers. I think that will be the push they need to get past those last late rounds in the playoffs. So I have Carolina out of the East making it. Then the Panthers, as long as they can figure out their depth, and then followed by you got the Tampa Bay Lightning, but the Winnipeg Jets. Now it would be my last real team. I know I said the Avs, but that's because they have Nathan McKinnon, they have Cale Makar. Those are great players, but I think that Dallas, Vegas, and Oilers are just better teams. And same with the Jets. And why I say the Jets is because they have Connor Hellebuck. Connor Hellebuck, the last 2 years in a row, he has won the Conn Smythe, or the not Conn Smythe, that's the Vezina Trophy, which is for goalies. There's only been one goalie since the 1990s, which is Dominic Hasek. He's the only one to win the Vezina 3 years in a row, and I see Connor Hellebuck doing it again this coming year. He's just top of his game. He's the best goalie in the league by far. He's also the reigning Hart Trophy winner from last year, which is the best player in the league. So I truly expect that the Jets can make a push, because as long as you get to the playoffs and your goalie's on fire, then you have a chance. And so the Winnipeg Jets with Connor Hellebuck always have a chance to win that cup. So that's what I have going. I'll just leave it at the 8, because everybody else after that, I mean, Ovechkin, the Capitals, they got him ranked 9. Toronto Maple Leafs 10, but I don't think the Maple Leafs will be anything without Mitch Marner. And then Ovechkin, he's already reached that goal record, and he beat the Great One. I just don't see. I see him slowing back and him finally being done after this season. So I'm really excited for the season. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. But yeah, I'm high on the Knights this year, and I'm really excited for them. Dallas scares me because they got a new coach, and yeah, they got rid of the problem, in my opinion, which was Pete DeBoer.
Yeah. So looking at, because I was looking at this all morning, I found the ESPN one where they ask a bunch of experts who they think is going to win the Stanley Cup. I believe it's 17 experts, I think is what they said. So right now, the numbers break down to, I just had it. 5 of them think the Avalanche, 4 of them think the Golden Knights, 4 of them think the Stars, 3 think the Panthers, 3 think the Oilers, and then 1 each thinks Hurricanes, Jets, Kings, Maple Leafs, Devils. So the consensus looks like the 3 top ones are Avalanche, Golden Knights, Stars.
Yeah, all out of the West.
Yeah. So
I mean, I have Avalanche in there just because you have Cale Makar and you have Nathan McKinnon. But yeah, I still like I still like Dallas Oilers. I mean, Oilers, they haven't nothing's changed, and they're still there, right? Nothing's changed. They were there 2 years in a row, and if the Knights didn't beat them in the conference final 3 years ago, or whatever, 4 years, whatever it was, when the Knights won, then yeah, the Oilers could have gone back to back to back Stanley Cup Finals, and So I got to put them above the Avs, but the Avs are right there. The West is absolutely just loaded. The Jets, Avs, Dallas, Vegas, and Oilers like that. The West is just a juggernaut. I don't think the team out of the East will win it. And I know Florida has won the last two, but again, with their two top players out, one for the season and one until at least the end of the year, yeah, it's going to be tough. I got a call. I got to take this. Go for it.
Yeah.
Start talking about our boy.
Marky Sanchez. So that was Casino's NHL preview. We'll obviously be back here tomorrow for our regular Wednesday shows. We just had so much stuff this week that we decided to do an extra show on Tuesday. But we'll be back tomorrow to talk about opening night of the NHL. Game 1 has already started between the Blackhawks and Panthers. It literally just kicked off. So as we're recording this, then obviously there's Penguins and Rangers, and then Avalanche and Kings. And then we're just fully into hockey season. So here we go. My son's iPad is just very loud. Not iPad, tablet. So let's talk about this weird Mark Sanchez story. Again, I was reading about it this morning. I still do not really understand what the actual incident was. So let's just go to the ESPN article about that. So this is the one that had the first part that kind of summed it up the best I've seen from all the articles I've read about it. And this is from ESPN talking about the headline is ex quarterback Mark Sanchez charged for allegedly attacking truck driver. Former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez was pepper sprayed and stabbed multiple times during a late night altercation with a 69-year-old truck driver in a downtown Indianapolis alley, which resulted in 3 criminal charges against the Fox Sports analyst, according to court reports filed on Sunday. Sanchez, 38, was charged with battery with injury, public intoxication, and unlawful entry of a vehicle, all misdemeanors on Sunday morning. An initial hearing has been scheduled for 8:30 a.m. Tuesday with bond set at $300. And then this says, the prosecutor says this incident should have never happened. What began as a disagreement between a 38-year-old former professional athlete in quarterback Mark Sanchez and a 69-year-old man should not have escalated into violence or left anyone seriously injured. As with any case, we'll follow the facts and the law whenever they need. So apparently Sanchez allegedly accosted the driver of a boxcar that had been backing into a hotel loading dock, where then Mark Sanchez went into the guy's cab of his truck to yell at the guy for, I guess, blocking a parking spot he wanted to park his car in. So he pulls the guy out of the truck, like has him pinned up against the wall in an alley. The truck driver pulls out pepper spray. Apparently the pepper spray was not enough, because then he takes out a knife and apparently repeatedly stabs Mark Sanchez with it. Then police arrive on the scene. Sanchez suffered several stab wounds to his right torso area, while the driver also has a left laceration on his left cheek and was taken to a different hospital than Sanchez. So Sanchez,
I like that.
What?
That they added different hospital.
Yeah, like they're gonna put him in the same fucking room. But
you did that on an episode of House once. That was funny.
I mean, House, great show.
There was a guy who shot House, and they, next thing you know, they're in the same room together.
The last thing Sanchez told police officers that the last thing he remembered was grabbing for a window. I don't know why that was in the story. What does that even mean?
That's in the story because he's trying to say that he wasn't there.
Oh,
he doesn't know his actions.
Oh, okay. So, obviously, after he went to the hospital, he was then arrested, put on bail, all that kind of stuff. So, or put on bond, I should say. Thoughts on this story, Casino? What a
I think he's going
weird.
to. I think he's going to prison.
Well, the if he is, if it is shown that he, what is it? It was responsible, and I think he's claiming either self defense
They're
or
both claiming self-defense.
yeah.
But
So if
obviously, but it sounds like from all reports that Sanchez was the one to initiate it all.
Well, not only to initiate it all, like also super aggressive in pulling the guy out of his truck. So, and then not only that, but
I mean,
it,
if I had a knife and I had already pepper sprayed somebody and they're still coming at me, you would have to suspect that they're on something. And because if they're not reacting to the pepper spray, like enough, right, to get them to go away. Pepper spray is strong shit. I've never been hit it with it directly, but when I used to work on Fremont Street, shout out to Fremont Street being crazy. Um, some one of the security guards had us pepper spray somebody, and it was a good distance away, and I was still like just getting the late fumes of it, and I was coughing for like another 2 hours after that. And it was a distance. It was not even near me, and I just got a little bit. So I couldn't imagine being directly hit with pepper spray. I just couldn't even fathom it. I
that,
will.
yeah, it that shit hurts. I've also been in the vicinity, not of it being sprayed on me, but on sprayed to somebody else, and you get it in your eyes. That stuff, like it burns. So to be able to, well, also apparently, what is it? Mark Sanchez was like lit up when this was happening. He was apparently super drunk and described by the truck driver as smelling of strong alcohol with slurring his speech as well. So he was just shit faced. And then the truck driver reportedly said, this is from Yahoo Sports, reportedly said he was doing his job exchanging used cooking oil from the Westin Hotel when Sanchez approached him and opened the door of his truck. After the truck driver exited the truck, Sanchez claimed he has spoken to the manager of the hotel and that the truck driver was not supposed to be there. Again, why is Mark Sanchez in the loading dock of a hotel where they're exchanging cooking oil?
I
That
don't know.
is
He just likes to being brown back, man.
it's so well, he is famous for the butt fumble.
So I mean,
Uh
do you think that's what I'm trying to get at? Do you think that he was just so hammered because he's just hammered all the time from being remembered for the butt fumble, one of the funniest plays in NFL history?
Dude, I don't know. This is apparently there is video footage of this and all that stuff. I would love to
I can't
see.
wait to see it. It will get leaked eventually, and I can't wait to see it. When it becomes public record, I can't wait to see it.
Well, and apparently there were two different hotels who have video footage of the event, and both of them back up what the truck driver's story is.
Oh
Not
yeah, I'm sure
obviously.
of it. I'm sure of it. I mean, Sanchez can't remember outside of like reaching for a window. Bro's obliterated. I'm
Yeah,
going to take the truck driver who, driving trucks, he cannot be impaired. I'm going to take his story over a drunk dude's story who's completely blacked out all day. So
God,
yeah,
so weird.
I'm worried for him. I mean, in general, just like concerned for his mental well-being, health, mentally, physically. Obviously, he got stabbed, but why are you completely hammered, man? Like, is it
Yeah,
truly the butt fumble? I don't know, but
I, I
I mean,
it's
jokes aside, he gets made fun of that all the time. I
yeah,
wonder
but
if this is
he's a good-looking dude. He's got a job at Fox where he just calls games. It's not like
not
he is
anymore.
just. Oh yeah. Oh, he'll definitely be fired from Fox within the next week.
Don't
And
worry,
then
ESPN will pick him up.
yeah, exactly. And then what is it? If he is charged, he's going to prison for 1 to 6 years. Like that is insane.
Yeah,
The amount the team the NFL could put together of their star players going to prison would compete against, I mean, some pretty bad they would compete with some pretty bad teams if we're just going across the board.
yeah,
Uh God, that is crazy. What a weird story.
yeah.
All right,
Get
last
get Adam
thing.
Sadler on the phone. Let's get another Mean Machine team going. Let's go. Yeah, but
La Final thoughts on that story, Casino.
that's it. I have nothing else.
That's
Let's end
what
on a fun one.
college football, baby.
Oh yeah,
So,
I was just gonna say Jerry Jones flipping off, getting fined $250,000.
well, that is funny.
I
Again,
forgot we have college football, man.
I
There's so much.
I know. That's why we had to do 3 shows this week. There's so much stuff going on. And this is all before NBA is also
Yeah, I've
starting in
got
2 weeks.
legitimately 15 minutes before I have to be out the door because I have to go to my physical therapy for my quad. So
So let's
15.
do 10 minutes on college football. We'll first talk about last week and then what happened or what we think's going to happen this week as well. But last week, obviously the big story was my team in college football has always been UCLA. I've always loved
Loved it.
UCLA. I've always loved I that's the college I wanted to go to and then never did. That's the college I love the colors, the traditions, the uniforms, all that kind of stuff. So it was to my great joy that one of my most hated college football teams that I honestly don't even know how there's still a college football team after the scandal that surrounded their team. Not only did they lose to double OT last week against Oregon, they then lose to the 0-4 team UCLA at home. No, UCLA was at home. So Penn State is traveling to UCLA.
Yeah.
I watched every second of this game. I flipped onto it when the UCLA was up by I believe like 2 or 3 touchdowns and I was like, what's going on here? Watch the entire rest of the game. The saddest thing you will ever see, the coolest thing you'll ever see is what is it last week when what was the school we were talking about where they did like the best rush the field ever? That
Oh, it was
was
the Vanderbilt.
it I don't think it was Vanderbilt. It
Was it
was it
where
was
they
last
yeah, where they tore down the goalpost and they took it and they threw it into the ocean or threw it into the bay?
no. What was the really good one we talked about last week? They rushed the field like the second the game ended. We both watched that game. What was it? It happened
Oh,
Friday.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
which one I'm talking about?
The Virginia game, right?
Virginia. That's what it was. The Virginia fans immediately rushed the field. No, that had to have been 2 weeks ago.
Whenever.
Again, whenever,
I got
whatever.
I got 10 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. I can't think of it right now. Whatever game we were talking about where they had the best fans rushing the field of all time because it was like the second the game ended. UCLA beating Penn State. There was no UCLA fans in the field, but then they still tried to rush the field after this monumental upset. And it is by far the saddest rushing the field for fans you're ever going to see because again,
They had
nobody was
nobody
in
there.
the stands. Everybody in the stands was either just like UCLA fans who were just like, I mean, I guess we'll go to the game, or Penn State fans who left the game because they lost.
Yeah.
So when they rushed the field, it wasn't even a quarter filled. But the joy I felt with them beating
And that's
Penn State.
huge, man. For UNLV, I know there's the Group 5 teams. There's still teams above them, one being undefeated with Memphis that, it's a long shot still for UNLV to get into the college football playoffs. Hopefully some teams lose. But yeah, it helps our team UNLV because we beat UCLA and UCLA just goes and beats Penn State, who are now out of the top 25, by the
Well,
way,
that was what I wanted to
and
talk about.
Texas.
They dropped all the way because going into that game, they were like 7th, weren't
Yeah,
they? They
they
were
were 7th.
7th in the nation. They fall from 7th with
And the week
back-to-back.
before they were 3, and then they lost, and they went to 7, and now they're out.
Well, and again, they should have fallen against Oregon, which they did. And Oregon's now number 3, but losing to a winless UCLA team
And we
knocks them
talked
from
about how
7
bad that
to
coach
unranked.
is with that team.
Yeah, Franklin. I'm shocked we have still not heard news as of right now that he's been fired.
Right.
That seems like the game against Oregon. You're like, all right, how that game was kind of handled. Maybe you give him one more week. The one more week you give him, he then loses to UCLA. Like it's over. If you're Penn State, how is that guy still on the roster? Especially because Penn State is one of the top 20 teams in terms of money they bring in terms of exposure, in terms of popularity, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, but let's go through the top 25 right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Weird.
I don't know real quick. I don't know who's fallen farther in college football, Penn State or Bill Belichick. Gaboom. Let's
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
get into it.
So the top 10: Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Indiana. Those are the top 7. Those feel like the top 7. If I think Texas Tech
And
should
we
be
were high
ahead of
on Indiana
Alabama.
last year. I'm glad that they're doing good.
Yeah. Then it's followed by Alabama, Texas Tech, Georgia to round up the top 10.
Yeah,
I
I'm
still
sad to
would
say
put
Alabama's there, but Alabama's look good.
Dude, Alabama's look good, and they've had some good wins too.
Yeah.
Like, what they did last week, what is it, beating a Vanderbilt team that going into that game, everybody was like, "Oh, Vanderbilt's gonna beat Alabama again." And then
Well,
they
I mean,
kind of
Vanderbilt's
just
still
wiped the
20th
floor with
right
them.
now. They did drop 4, but I mean, again, they lost against a red hot Alabama team. So good on
Yeah,
them. A team that I am really high on is Virginia. They look confident. I mean,
yeah,
I don't expect them to, break into a top 5 by, any standard this year, but they're 5-1. They look good. Notre Dame, starting off 0-2, they are scraping themselves back in to conversation. They have to win out just to even have a shot, in my opinion. But they could do that because they got the team. They just got to get their shit figured out. Like I said, Memphis, they're 6-0. South Florida 4-1. They're 23-24, and those are the tops for that Group 5. You also have sitting right outside of that, you have UNLV, North Texas, and Navy for the North. Obviously, I'm going to pay attention to that moving forward. But yeah, that's kind of where they're at. Yeah, I like all these undefeated teams that are in that top 7. They look great.
yeah. And you can also throw Texas Tech in there, also undefeated. But
Yeah.
you can make the case Alabama's had a better season than Texas Tech, but I still think Texas Tech should be ahead of them until they lose. Then again, the news coming into the story that you have not heard anything about as of 4 hours ago, it has also been revealed the the Hulu documentary on the UNC Tar Heels first season with Bill Belichick has been canceled for unknown reasons. Casino. I mean, why would you cancel that one?
That's really funny.
The North Carolina Tar Heels 2-3, they're 11th place in the ACC, not the SEC, not the big whatever the hell they're calling it now. The
The big 1,000.
ACC. Yeah, exactly. The big too many teams for the numbers. Uh 11th in the ACC. And also, it was the Virginia Florida State game that I was thinking of, where they stormed the field immediately after. So you were right,
I
it was
know.
Virginia. And
I know.
Virginia looks good when they eventually have to play Miami. That's going to be a really good game. Obviously, they don't
Yeah.
play them during the regular season, but the
Yeah, welcome to
ACC
Miami.
championship.
I'm going to
But
listen to that on the way to PT. That's going to be great.
and then coming up this week, Casino, we have some big games on the docket. I
Oh,
think we have Oklahoma, Texas, even though obviously Texas has fallen out of the top 25.
Yeah, Oklahoma,
There,
I got them all day. I mean, Manning, Arch Manning. I told you, it's all about his name. All about his
well,
name.
there has never been a more overestimated player going into a college football season than Arch Manning and that Texas football team. Because again, we talked about it on here previewing the start of the college football season. There were many college football experts, which we've never claimed to be, saying, "Oh, Texas is going to go to the."
I mean, I think I thought Texas was going to do much better than they were. I said Texas. I do think I said Texas has a shot of winning it this year,
Yeah,
but I
I
was
did
always
too.
concerned. I was always concerned about Arch.
Yeah. Well, and also he looked good last year, but then the people were making good arguments, which was, yeah, he looks good when he comes in, but he can't beat out Ewers in like camp, in practice. So how good is he really? And then we've seen he beats up on the worst teams in the league, but whenever they play good teams, he just does not show up. And again, I keep hearing the analysis of him being like, oh, well, he's too early on the throws. Like he's just there, he knows all the plays, he's just too early. It's just like Yes, so then that means he's not completing passes because he's too early on the throws. Why are we trying to just dismiss that like as a, oh well, he'll figure it out? No, he won't. Texas went from number 1 to unranked in 6 weeks. Like I feel like that's a huge issue. But last game I wanted to talk about, the big game this weekend is Indiana, number 7, traveling to number 3 Oregon. Who you got in this one, Casino?
I'm going to go the Ducks at home. I want Indiana. I like the Ducks. I've never disliked the Ducks, but I got to go Indiana. Or I got to go the Ducks. They're at home.
That Casino's daughter was also agreeing about the Ducks. Yeah, I think again, I like Indiana as well. I just think both in the Big Ten, there's a almost 70% chance right now. The experts are saying that Oregon wins at home. Again, if this was in Indiana, maybe we would be saying the Hoosiers have a shot, which they do. I'm not saying they don't. Their quarterback is playing some amazing football right now. He has 16 touchdowns, 1 interception on the season, which is a huge reason why they're 5-0. But again, Oregon is no slouch, even though have we maybe overrated Oregon by that game against Penn State? Because the week after that, Penn State loses to an undefeated team, or loses to a winless team, I should say. So
yeah, but also that was, you were in Penn State. They have a really good record when they do the whiteout. So like that was, I just think they're just knocked silly from losing that game.
Yeah, but I am still picking Oregon. However, Oregon uses dumb games they're heavily favored in every season. So they are currently 7.5 point favorites in this game. If Indiana wins, I would not be shocked. I will be rooting for Indiana, but I do agree with you. I think it's going to be Oregon. And on that note, we covered everything.
A 30-minute show that we planned on doing turned into an hour 12.
Yeah, so you get an extra
this is
show.
A great reason. This is a great example of why we decided to do this podcast in general, was because when you and I talk sports,
it just goes forever.
It just goes forever. It just goes forever.
If we had no time limit, I really do think if we ever get big, we should totally do one of those streams where it's like, for charity, we're going for 24 hours straight. I really think we could do it.
In the East, dude, so easy.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. How we doing today, Casino?
Fantastic. I can't wait for hockey. Oh, yeah, we got football too, but I can't wait for hockey. The Golden Knights play tonight. I'm stoked. I just can't contain it.
You can't contain that happiness. The Golden Knight, in honor of them, I'll try to find some gold. That kind of looks like gold. Gold right there, kind of gold. Yeah, but we are now 3 days in a row, Casino, and yesterday our episode went too late. So if you are listening to the podcast, you'll be getting 2 podcasts today on the audio feed. Just know the first one is from yesterday, and then today's one is obviously from today, where we preview the NFL games. We're also, if we have time, we're going to do our power rankings as well, Casino. Because again, you sent me a top 10 list, but we have to go 32-1. So it takes a little bit. We might do it because I wanted to spend Friday's episode as just an Eagles season review, because if the Eagles lose on Thursday and to the Giants, and then I'm recording the show on Friday, it's just going to be a half hour of me just bitching about what a dumpster fire this Eagles team is. So if they win, it'll be some nuance, but if they lose, it's going to be all hands on deck. So join me Friday on the solo show, but today we're doing picks, Casino. But first, let's talk about the MLB playoffs yesterday and also opening night of the NHL. Both things I watched. Yeah, so when it comes to yesterday, the Yankees come back to win 9-6 against the Blue Jays. The Mariners beat the Tigers 8-4, and then those were the only 2 games yesterday.
Yeah. So let's start with the exciting one in my heart, where the Seattle Mariners, they win 8-4 against the Detroit Lions. Just an absolute bomb fest by Seattle. They were just looking good the entire game. They were trickling in some runs throughout the entire game. It wasn't one big inning. But talking about big, you got Mr. Big Dumper hitting his 61st home run of the year. And the craziest thing, and I loved it, is when he hit it, it bounced into the relievers. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on it? Where they practice their pitching. I'm totally blanking on the name of it. Anyway, so it bounces there and it bounces up to a fan. And the fan that caught it, he was wearing Dump 61 shirt here. Like, that is phenomenal. So it made me really smile. And then what was even better is Cal Raleigh, after the game, went and he was able to find that guy. He got a picture with him and everything, and the home run ball that I thought was really cool of him to do. But yeah, he just one Seattle fan in the middle of a whole bunch of Detroit fans gets the ball off the bounce, which was really cool. Bullpen is what I was looking for. Bounced in the bullpen and he jumped up and got it. So that was really cool. So yeah, good for Seattle. They can close out today. Currently, they are winning in their game right now. Let's see what the score was. Yep, they're up 1-0 right now, top of fourth. That's on Fox Sports 1 that I know people can't watch right now unless you're watching it live, because we do this live now. And anyway, so the crazier story of the two, though, was the Yankees coming back and beating the Blue Jays last night and going down as one of the greatest games for a single player, which was Judge. And that kind of solidified Aaron Judge's top tier status as an all-time Yankee, because they were on the brink of elimination and he was able to pull them out of that. So Toronto goes up. They were up big. They were up 6-1 going into the bottom of the third. Then the Yankees get 2 there. They get 3 in the fourth off of the massive hit by Aaron Judge. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did.
How in the hell did he hit a home run off of that? It was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball up towards the neck, and somehow he was able to turn on it enough to get it down the line, and hit the foul post for a home run, for a 3-run jack to put them back into the game. Like, they blew my mind. And let's take a quick step back, where everybody was like, oh man, yeah, they came back and they rallied and they won. I mean, this happened in the fourth. There was a lot of game left to play. Like, it wasn't crazy. They were down 6-3 going into before that home run. It wasn't like this was the greatest comeback. It's not like they came back 10 runs starting in the 8th or whatever. But good for the Yankees. They face off elimination. Good for them. But it's gonna end today. I think Toronto's gonna come out, and because they still put up runs. They still put up 6 runs on them. And I think they're going to absolutely just annihilate the Yankees in this game.
Yeah, I do too. Even that game, it was the fourth, and they'd already scored 6 runs. So it was looking to be like, man, are they just going to do it again to the Yankees, where the score is 12-3 going into the 7th, and then the Yankees just came back.
Mariners just scored another one. Good for them. So that's game 1. And then later we do have all these games are facing elimination. You have the Brewers Cubs, which I do expect the Brewers to just sweep the Cubs in this 5-game series. After that, you do have the Blue Jays, Yankees, and then you end off with Phillies, Dodgers, where I do think, sadly for the Phillies, sadly for the Phillies, they're in LA. LA took both on the road. I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry. So I think it's going to be closed out. I think Mariners are going to win, Brewers are going to win, Blue Jays and Dodgers are all going to take the cake, and we will move on to the next round after today.
Yeah, there is a reason that I said I was scared of the Dodgers before the playoffs even started. This is the reason, because they are no matter what the record says, everyone who has followed baseball, even in the slightest way, knows the Dodgers record was what it was this year because they just got bad injury luck. Outside of that, everody knew they were the best.
I told you they were my pick. I thought it was going to be repeat Yankees, Dodgers winning it again. And Dodgers could still win it. I mean, at this point, I was thinking it was going to be Phillies, Mariners. I do realistically think it's going to be Brewers, Mariners, because I know the Blue Jays are on fire and they're hitting the crud out of the ball, but I think the Mariners are just
Whoa,
playing
language, Casino, language. Crud out of the ball. Whoa.
yeah,
We
sorry.
have kids listening.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me rephrase. Hitting the fuck out of the ball. And the Mariners, I think them playing a tougher opponent with Detroit right now, and it being a real grit to win this series between the two, I think that sets up and bodes well better for the Mariners. Especially if the Blue Jays would have swept, but I do think that they do get the closeout tonight. And yesterday it was just the Judge godly game on somehow he had to figure that out. So shaping up to be a good postseason or push to the World Series. So I'm still hoping that it's Mariners taking it all, but we'll see.
Yeah. Phillies, I'm just saying. They lost 2 at home. There's no way they can lose just 3 straight to this Dodgers team. They got to at least take 1, give some hope. We can't, as Philadelphia fans, we can't go Phillies lose 2 times and then Penn State loses and then the Eagles lose their first game of the year and then what is it? The Phillies lose the day before the Eagles play again on Thursday against the divisional team. I swear to the Lord, if the Phillies lose tonight and then the Eagles lose on Thursday, Friday's show will just be a therapy session where I have a loaded gun in my hand and I'm just waving it around metaphorically, not really, I know. But
the amount of times
Lord.
I've had to talk you out of that metaphorical situation. Well, yeah, so that's what we got. We also have game 3 tonight of the WNBA. And again, I just think the Aces are going to sweep. So I'm not too invested anymore in that series. It would have been a good series if the Minnesota Lynx made the finals versus the Aces, the 2 best teams in the league, but didn't. So that's pretty much all said and done. I am excited for the MLB playoffs on that final push, though. And yeah, hockey. So let's talk about hockey. Let me say that. Let's talk about hockey. Yeah, yesterday was good. So we had 3 games taken front and center stage. So we started off with the defending champs, with the Florida Panthers playing the Blackhawks, and the Panthers were able to get it done against the Blackhawks. I watched majority of that game because I was actually at my physical therapy session, so I watched at least one whole period, which was awesome. Panthers do take it. I mean, they do still have Marchand. They do have some other good players, but I just worry. I mean, you start off the season 3-2 against the Blackhawks, regardless how good Connor Bedard is, in getting the new coach over there for the Blackhawks. Like, it just, the Panthers, the Panthers. It worries me that they've lost those 2 players that I was talking about yesterday with Tkachuk and Barkov. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. Then you have the Penguins and the Rangers. This was a fun one because this was the new head coach for the Penguins. This was his debut. He did assistant coach both at the Rangers and at the Pens. So he's very familiar with both of these teams. Penguins do come out. They do get that first. It was the Rangers coach. My bad. Let me rephrase. And so Penguins do get their first win, 3-0. So that was kind of a snooze fest. But then, the Avs absolutely dominating the Kings. So we talked about it. The Avs have a good chance and a good push this year. So I'm excited for how this goes. Moving on. You got anything on hockey?
No, keep going with hockey. I'm making stuff.
You got it. So tonight we start off the night 4:30 Pacific time. We have the Bruins Capitals. In my mind, Capitals are going to just absolutely dominate this game. We have the Golden Knights playing the Kings. The Kings on their second game of the season. They're going back to back to start the season, which kind of sucks for them, especially when they come into Vegas to play the Golden Knights. They're going to get absolutely whomped. Oh, hi, honey. You put your apple right there. Okay, I'll be in there in a second. Yes, I will turn on another movie. I'll be there in a second. Okay, another Barbie movie. Got it. Sorry. Priorities, my friends. So Golden Knights, I do expect the Kings to get their second loss tonight, and with Mitch Marner. And as we are talking, I will have to look into it, but Jack Eichel, he did get an extension with the Golden Knights. It just happened. Let's see if they've posted it. Nope. They just said Jack Eichel and Vegas Golden Knights have agreed to a long-term extension. Sources say sources told ESPN just hours before the season opener. There it goes. Literally as I'm talking, finally it popped back up. Jack Eichel's contract extension in Vegas is for 8 years, $13.5 million. Big signing right there because Jack Eichel is one of the best players in the league. And boy, oh boy, am I happy to see this. Wow, let's go. I'm really excited about that. That should make Golden Knights fans happy, and that should give a really big boost for this team going into this game tonight. Then you have 2 more games that start off the Wednesday or the second day of the season for the NHL. You have Maple Leafs, Canadiens. I am still going to go with the Leafs, even though they lost Mitch Marner, and then Oilers, Flames. This is in Edmonton. I think the Oilers absolutely roll the Flames. The Flames had their chance. They flamed out over the past couple of years. And yeah, go Oilers. I'm really excited for this. I can't. Woo! Jack Eichel, 8 years. That's big. That's big.
That's a long time. 8 years.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much ends his career. I mean, he's already done like damn near a decade because he joined the league really young, right? So he's coming up on a decade, or he's right at a decade. So that's towards the end of his career. So it looks like we have Jack Eichel, at least as long as there's no trades and whatnot, this or that. But looks like we locked him up for the majority or the rest of his career. That is exciting. That's really exciting. Woo, doggy. Oh, yeah. I got really nothing else for that. Boy, oh boy. So yeah, let's just now move over to the NFL. I know you're working on some stuff for us. But man.
Yeah, no, I got it. That's all I need.
Okay. That threw me for a loop. I'm super stoked on this right now.
So now, Casino, it is time. This thing takes forever to download.
You're fine.
So also, you know what? This is perfect. While I put this thing together, you know what we can talk about, Casino? I don't know if you know this or not, but we do a segment on this channel called the Super Bowl Bubble. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, or people listening to the show. We've been doing it for, I want to say 3 years. I want to say we've been doing it for almost the entire time we've been doing this show. It is a segment I came up with from my own brain that I thought, hey, what's a word that's with Super Bowl? What's a B word? Bubble. It was that easy, right? Had never seen it before. And then all of a sudden, I see a clip from
Don't hate on my boy.
From a man you and I both love, and his
Don't
name
hate
is
on my boy.
Colin Cowherd, Casino. And all of a sudden, with Colin Cowherd, he is now doing a segment called the Super Bowl Bubble. And here it is right here. If I can just show the people at home, let me share the screen right here. Just blatant. The Super Bowl Bubble. Top Super Bowl contenders, Eagles, Bills, Chargers. Not only that, Casino.
The bubble looks identical.
What is it? Not only is it the Super Bowl Bubble, it's almost exactly what our Super Bowl Bubble looks like. Oh, except ours are much better and much more interesting because, again, it's a Super Bowl bubble. So when you do a bubble, you would think, oh, hey, why don't I actually, I don't know, put bubbles in it instead of whatever. I'm looking at the screen over here. I have it on. It's just one little bubble in the middle, and then the teams on the outside. What is the bubble in? What is the bubble around? Because when we do our bubbles, and now I'm going to have to, Now I'm going to have to download this video too to show the people what an actual Super Bowl bubble looks like. I've been sitting on this for weeks because this was a couple weeks ago, and I immediately screenshotted it, sent it to you, and was like, what the hell's going on here? Because for the people listening,
we're becoming popular, man. That's what's happening.
well, but again, it's not something I've ever seen him do. I've looked in the past if he has done a Super Bowl bubble. No, he is not. So again, you search Super Bowl bubble on YouTube. Now it's our video and his video that pops up. So I'm not saying like it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, power rankings or top 10 where everybody does a thing. This is an uber specific thing. And again, this is ours that I make on a service called Canva that I spend $12 a month. And I made bubbles in water with other bubbles around it. Colin Cowherd gets paid millions of dollars a year to hire professional people. He makes an image with one circle, doesn't even look like a bubble, and then the teams around the circle are in like a gray void. What is this? If you're gonna steal it, just steal it right. If you're gonna do it, just do it right.
So do you really think they stole it from us?
What I mean, it's again, Super Bowl bubble. It's not like an obvious thing. It's not like something where it's like, again, out in the ether, out in the consciousness. I'm saying also, are you going to steal from people that have no views and no subscribers? Or are you going to steal from channels that have millions and hundreds of thousands? That's where I'm coming from. So the people going, thinking, listening, or watching this right now going, there's no way he would steal it from you. We would be the perfect people to steal from for these really popular sports talk shows. Because obviously, and also, they just type in sports podcast. We're the only one. We're the only sports podcast. So again, flabbergasted. Also, it is what is it? I said after week 5, I would be revealing the second edition of the Super Bowl bubble. This is the first edition of the Super Bowl bubble before the season started. We do the Super Bowl bubble 4 times during the season. After week 5, after week 10, at the end of the regular season, and then before the playoffs start. And then obviously the one we did before the season started. So on Friday's show, we will be unveiling the new Super Bowl bubble. And I'll tell you what, it's going to look a lot different than the preseason Super Bowl bubble. Because I think right off the bat, I think I would take Commanders, Vikings, Ravens, obviously, and then Chiefs. I would take them all probably off the screen. I don't think, again, the Chiefs might be in a little tiny bubble in the one of the corners, but yeah. So Colin Cowherd, again, I'll show it one more time. Shame on you. Again, if you're going to steal it, do it right. That's not a good bubble. It's not in water. There's no bubbles around it. The other teams should be in smaller bubbles. It's just, again, if you're gonna come for the king, do it. If you're
whoa, you're not a king. Calm down.
Oracle.
You're an oracle.
If you're gonna come for the oracle, at least match the oracle's before this podcast, I'd never used Photoshop in my life. And now I'm making Super Bowl bubbles that are better than multi-million-dollar TV shows that rip off our idea. Egregious. Why is our delay so bad? It's like a full 30 seconds per light. All right. We'll reschedule this. We'll redo the picks when we do it. You got a 40-minute show. We also did a show yesterday. Our internet, I don't know what's going on. It's just really bad, the delay and everything. So sorry to cut off early. We'll be back tomorrow to do the picks and then Friday. So really, you're going to get a show every weekday this week. So that's just for being a good fan. Good fan right there. We'll be back tomorrow just to do picks and probably talk about the Phillies just annihilating the Dodgers tonight. But also we can talk Golden Knights. So we'll be back tomorrow with our picks. Sorry for how bad the internet's being right now. I'll try to fix it for tomorrow. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. This has been a partial episode of the Only Sports Podcast. Adios.